Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to a new video in Maya, of course. Well, yeah, we're in Maya 2025 and what we're going to do is have some fun with nCloth. We're going to drape a piece of fabric over an object, right? And that's quite important if you're modeling in 3D. You're going to have tons of situations. Blankets on the bed, maybe a sweater on a chair. You get the idea, okay? So what we need first is an object because we want to drape something on it, right? So we're going to grab a cube here and we're just going to hit R to scale that out. And then we're going to flatten that out, raise it up like this. And then we're going to go into the attribute editor, hit Control A, go into our polycube, and let's do 3 here. And 3 there, that's fine, right? Then we're going to close this out. We're going to go in here, right click face, and let's grab a section of this, why not? Control E to extrude, let's pull that up to about there. Then we're going to go in and grab maybe this right here, Control E again. And we can do one more step. Let's just take this guy, Control E, and push that up. So object-wise, looks good in my opinion. All right. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go and create an object that's going to become our cloth. So for that, we'll take a sheet, so a plane right here. Now, we're going to raise that up, hit W, push that way up here. And of course it needs to be big enough, right? This is way tiny. So we're going to hit R, we're going to scale that out. And you can even make it bigger than that. That's plenty big. And that looks good. However, the subdivision level is very, very low. It's important when you're creating cloth that you have a high poly count so it looks realistic. Otherwise, you're going to literally see the squares in the fabric, right? It has to be able to kind of flow over your object. So we're going to hit Control A. We're going to go in here and we're going to set this to quite high. Let's set this to 80, right? 80 and 80. Depending on the capacities of your system, this might slow things down a lot because after all, this is a simulation, right? And down here on your animation timeline, you will see that after we create the nCloth, it will start to look like an animation playline, right? So we got this guy set up. How are we going to turn it into an nCloth? We're going to go up to the FX menu. Normally you would be in modeling menu, probably we're going to go to the FX menu, okay? Then we're going to go to the tab where it says nCloth, and we're going to go and we're going to create nCloth. So click on that, and there you go. Now you see an nCloth node and a nucleus in your outliner. Do you care? Probably not. Should you be worried about it? Not yet. Okay. All right. So technically, if I now hit play, it should turn into nCloth, right? Okay, let's do that. And that kind of sucks, right? What's happening? Well, what's happening is that, yes, this turned into an nCloth and it has gravity set to it and whatnot. That's why it's falling. But it has no idea that there's an object here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the system that there's an object. We're going to select this object. We're going to go to our nCloth tab up here. And we're going to create a passive collider. So we're telling the system that the nCloth should collide with this object. Click on it. That's all you need to do. Let's hit play once again, see what happens. Okay, it's trying to fall here, but the timeline is way too short. We only have 120 frames here, right? So let's click in there and turn that to 2000, right? Okay, let's go back to frame 1. Let's hit play. There you go, much better, right? Now you see that it's falling over and it's kind of doing all that stuff. Now, problem is that the nCloth is wrapping around the bottom because it sees the object as an object floating in midair. There's no floor, right? So we're going to hit Control Z to go back. We're going to create a floor. Take another sheet here. We're going to hit R. We're going to kind of scale that out. That doesn't have to be that high poly, but we do need to turn this into a collider as well. So we're going to go to nCloth. We're going to go to Create Passive Collider. Now we're going to jump back to frame 1 and we're going to hit play. All right. It's running into an issue here. Okay. It looks like it's caching. Yeah, that's what the problem is, right? But you see that it's working, right? So there you go. Now it's suddenly hitting the floor. All right. Now you get something looking like this, which is pretty cool, right? Okay, now what can you do to make it look better? Well, a number of things. First of all, you can make it more high poly. Now, be careful with that, right? It becomes very, very sluggish when you do that. The second thing is you can turn this into an object rather than a simulation. Because right now, let's say I'm happy with the shape, I want to save this and I want to export it as an object, not as a simulation. Now, what you do is you delete the history on the object. As soon as you delete the history, it becomes a simple object and you can't do anything with it from that point other than treat it like an object. So let's do that. So I got it selected. We're going to go to Edit, Delete by Type, History, and Edit, Modify, and Freeze Transformation. We did all that, right? So now I can go back and hit play all I want and nothing will happen. And I can even go in right now and go to rigid and cloth. Come on, yeah, it's sluggish a little bit. Nucleus and rigid. Not this one. Wow, really sluggish, right? So, and we can delete all that. Yeah, and we can take this and we can just pick it up and move it around, right? So now you have a piece of cloth wrapping around an object. And if you want it kind of to fall into these curves here and so forth, all you have to do is make it more high poly, right? And another thing you can do to kind of have an effect on that is, and I should have done that before, let me quickly show you. So let's create something a little bit more simple. Create a cube, we'll pull that out, and then we'll go to the attribute editor. Let's set that to 3, like that, right? Okay, we're going to go to face mode 1 and 2, and we're going to pull that up. I'm going to go a little bit faster, and then we'll pull that up as well. There you go. Okay. We'll create a ground plane. Doesn't have to be high poly. There you go. Then we're going to go and create an object. In this case, let's just make it a, I don't know, like something like a scarf or so, right? So we're just going to pull this out like this. We're going to go to the attribute editor. We're going to go in and increase the poly count to, let's say, 50 here and 80 here. There you go. All right. Then we got this guy selected. We're going to go to FX. We're going to go to, where is it? nCloth. Create nCloth. We did that. Then we need to take this guy in object mode and go and create a collider, nCloth and passive collider. And then select this guy, nCloth, create passive collider. Now, if we hit play, it will fall. And we need to increase this range here, 1000. All right, let's go back, hit play, and it will fall. right? So you're probably thinking, well, it looks great, right? Now, you can do a lot of things here. You can go into the attribute editor. So here you can change a lot of things. Now, depending on what type of fabric you are creating, let's say you're creating clothing on a character, you might want it to respond differently, right? Let's say you are creating a t-shirt on a body. You can change the thickness, right? You can change the bounce. Let's say it's kind of a stretchy material that falls on somebody's body, right? It kind of bounces a little bit. Friction. Let's say this scarf just slides off the steps. You can increase the friction and the stickiness so it doesn't do that. So you can do all of that stuff, right? And if you don't like how it's draping here, you can change the position. So what I can do is grab this guy and let's say rotate that a little bit, right? Change the angle, push it back, and then hit play again. So there are tons and tons of things you can do. That's a little bit glitchy. It's kind of floating in midair over here. Not sure why. There you go. Right? So you can do all that. Now, it's kind of flipping over as you can see here, right? And once you're happy with this, and if you think, well, hey, it's all good and I'm happy and whatnot, what you can do as before is you can go in here, you can select your object. In this case, it's clipping, so that's not ideal. Let me just go back here and get to a situation. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, let's just imagine that it isn't clipping, right? Because I don't want to make the video too long. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to edit, delete by type, and history. And now it will no longer, oh, there's a warning there, doesn't matter. And from here, you can go and hit 3 to smooth it out. That's a temporary smooth. Or you can actually go to your modeling menu and go to mesh and smooth to make it really smooth instead of just a preview. Starts to look very realistic, right? And then you have this black side here, and again, you know, it's clipping right now. I know that, and it won't look good. But let's just say that it isn't clipping because I don't want to spend time in this video making it too long. But what you can do here now is you can extrude it, and you can go to, let's say, 0.01, all right, which will give it some thickness. And now you don't see that black. You got some clipping issues here and here, but you know, there you go. So it looks quite realistic, and that is so cool. And I absolutely love nCloth, right? So yeah, that's all there's to it. So hopefully this was a helpful video. I hope it was. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor, hit that like button. Do the subscribe thing if you are so inclined, and I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Thanks for watching. Bye.